Alrighty then. Hey there guys, welcome on in. And today we are going to be playing Pikmin 2. Since we finished up the first game 100% last time, we're going to be doing the same to this game, beating it 100%. And, one second, I'm going to do something I'm going to deeply regret. Oh boy. So, what I just did is I turned off my fan. That's for the audio quality. Unfortunately for me, it is going to be like 103 degrees outside today, and I'm in a small enclosed room with basically a space heater because of my computer, and I have to keep the door closed so I don't bother everyone else in the house. So I am going to be horrendously sweaty through this entire playthrough. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Now, as per usual, if you don't mind, I'm going to do my quick audio check to make sure that the thing didn't desynchronize randomly, so let's get that done. So let's see, right, left, left. I try that one more time, right. That seems pretty on point, so I think we're good to start. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way and get on into Pikmin 2. Oh, wait, you guys can't quite see it perfectly yet. There we go. Get that to there. And we're good to go. Oh, I've missed this game. This is probably my favorite game in the Pikmin series, so I am looking forward to this entire playthrough. I think this game improved on a lot of the flaws of the first game, while still keeping a lot of the challenge, unlike the third game where it was still very, very easy. Although that game objectively has some of the best gameplay changes around, just not the best balancing changes in my opinion. By the way, on this start screen here, there's actually a few Easter eggs. That bug that's there, the iridescent flint beetle, I can actually control it. Move it around, chase around the Pikmin here, etc. But yeah, that's a little detail. Now I'm gonna double check that audio check real quick because this is a little bit more precise than that thing. So let's try down. No, that is directly on point. Alrighty, so I can close that thing for audio checks now. And one thing that you can also do, if that Bulborb stayed on, you can summon that Bulborb if you want to. I can't remember what button is. You can press the R and L buttons and it changes from Pikmin 2 to, say, Nintendo up there. A lot of little details on this screen for all kinds of things. Either way, we're going to go ahead and begin. So, I believe... Oh, this isn't the version where I had my 100% playthrough on my channel before, so this is a different memory card. Well, let's go ahead and just start a new game on here and get started. Untitled Freight is a long-haul deep space shipping company. One day, its only employee of any merit, Captain Olimar, glad it gives credit to everyone else, crashed on an uncharted planet while on an interstellar vacation. There he was aided by the indigenous creatures called Pikmin. In the end, Captain Olimar escaped. But in Olimar's absence, his employer, Untitled Freight, ran into financial difficulties. And here we are. Like, literally, maybe hours after the end of the first game, we're right here. Oh, jeez, excuse me. And here we have Captain Olimar. Oh, sorry, it's getting into what I think is my allergy season here in California. I've never actually experienced it before, so this is my first time. But it definitely feels like allergies. President of Untitled Freight and local employee Louis, the one who isn't an employee of any merit. Oh, I can't wait. Olimar, I am so glad you're safe. Yes, very glad, quite glad indeed. Sadly, I have an announcement that is not so glad. Our company is going under. Yes, we're finished. On his first mission, Louis here met a ravenous space bunny, and his entire load of golden Pick brand carrots was eaten. I took out an enormous loan to repay the debt from this loss. I decided to sell off corporate assets to repay the loan. And, But the only asset we had to sell was your ship, the SS Dolphin. First of all, that's not a company asset. I personally owned that, thank you. As for the rest of our loan... we have no means to repay it. And luckily, though, Olimar brought home a souvenir for his son, like he said. Olimar, what is that? Oh? You brought that back as a souvenir for your kid? Treasure, treasure, money, money, money. And this new ship, which is not nearly as fun as our old ship, but, you know, it exists. Initiating that valuation of recovered treasure. This artifact is worth 100 pokos. This thing is worth 100 pokos? That's more than a year's salary. There are more on that planet? They can repay our debt! Louis! You dolt! Look alive! You must depart immediately. With Captain Olimar. I love this kind of just goofy style that this game has in its opening. It's so bizarre in the way their eyes pop out of their head when they're surprised. That's apparently a thing for all Hokutations, but I don't know. It's just a funny little detail. And here we are, arriving back almost immediately, faster than light, and we pass gently by that meteor that knocked us out of orbit last time. And now we get a clearer view. We're actually landing on what is very clearly Earth. You can see Africa there. This planet is bizarre. Sometimes it shows up as like the continents actually changed between games. So whatever is going on with it is something very strange. And yes, we unfortunately aren't the best pilot, and we crashed and lost Louis. Well, no great loss. That was close. I have averted a crash landing, running diagnostics. Alert! Danger! Louis is missing. He must have somehow fallen out of his cockpit. He is not responding via his communicator. He is either flouting protocol or is in danger. Olimar, you must find Louis before he freezes to death in the cold of this planet. Oh, he's wearing a suit. He'll be fine. Wait a moment. Look. And as it just so happens, could these be Pikmin? They look like they are about to be devoured as well as we speak. You must help them. Quickly, press B to call them with your whistle, Captain Olimar. You can also hold B, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I remember all of this. We just finished playing a week ago. So, no matter what you do there, no Pikmin will actually get eaten. That's just something that it says is a threat, but actually isn't. This is just tutorial stuff. The Pikmin ran to your side. They seem to remember you. Captain Olimar. How fascinating. Give them instructions and do not delay. Hold A to grab a Pikmin and release A to throw it. Alrighty, so let's just go ahead and grab these guys. And if I recall the aiming being a little bit easier in this game, like it feels a little bit smoother, I guess is the word for it. Either way, you may notice though, there's landing spaces for an onion, but there is no onion in this area this time. Attention, Captain Olimar. I have just re-established my communications link with Louis. It is fortunate that we have managed to confirm his safety. Press Y to communicate with him. I am quite interested in the details of his condition. Alright, so yeah, the ship here is going to be our basic voice through this entire playthrough. A lot of people hate the ship. I personally don't mind the ship at all. So, let's press Y like it said, and we switch to Louis. You can see an impression of where he landed on the ground. In this game, you switch between two captains constantly. Oh, hey Alexis, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Louis, allow me to assess your condition, as per our safety protocols. Are you at all injured? Is that so? Then my concerns are eased. Our communication link shows you are nearby. I love that Louis just says, nah, I'm fine, and that's enough for the ship. Yeah, that sounds about right for safety protocols for this company. Can you make your way to our location and rejoin us? I will navigate for you. Oh, don't worry, I know this place like the back of my hand, ship. I've played this way too many times. Press start to yeah, you can press start to pull up a map, and that will help anytime you need it. Either way, though, now we play as Louis for the first time in this series. Heading here, we find the missing onion that was not with the other Pikmin. Louis, the odd object before you appears to be one of the onions mentioned in Olimar's report. And I love this little scene. I don't know, something about that just is so good. The seed the onion injected just sprouted. According to Olimar's report, it can be plucked with A. So as a note, Pikmin that are planted actually sprout much faster in this game. It's very convenient. Not as fast as the third game, but still easy and convenient. And so it begins again. Louis, this must be one of the Pikmin creatures from Olimar's report. It is staring at you. You can use C-Stick to issue objectives to your Pikmin squad and even direct their movement. You can disband your squad with X. Yep, interesting. Olimar's description of the creatures resembling Pick carrots was strikingly accurate. Louis, my sensors have detected drooling in the corner of your mouth. Are you all right? So, Louis sees the Pikmin and his first thought is he wants to eat them. But unfortunately, it wants a hug! Just this little exchange of him trying to understand the Pikmin, debating about whether he wants to eat them or not. And then it just wants to hug him. It just wants to follow everywhere he goes. Also, I love the music in this area. I just want to point that out. We'll be hearing plenty of it through the playthrough, though. So let's go ahead and get started. As with last time, if we throw Pikmin at a pellet posy, they'll bring it down. Unlike the first game, though, they'll actually they'll start carrying it immediately instead of running back to you first. This is a major change from the previous game where if you were nearby when Pikmin completed a task, they would always run back to you regardless of whether it was intelligent to or not. Because generally in this game when they complete a task, you'll have to whistle them back when you're done. The onion ejected more seeds. The pellet from that flower must hold nutrients that breed Pikmin. Yes, the Pikmin gather nutrients, haul them to their onion, and further propagate the species. The onion is a Pikmin mothership. Basically, yes. Reviewing Olimar's report, it seems repeatedly tapping A lets you rapidly pick Pikmin sprouts. Yes. Now, unlike in the third game, I can't set anyone to automatically pluck. That's a thing that isn't added until later. So one thing I can do here, I can throw one of you guys over there to start working on it. Oh, that is not where I wanted you. Fine, I'll throw one of you back there. The other one of you will go over there and start working on that. Now you will come with me. And can I get that right? Yep, I can. There we go. As you can see, these sprout, and then they're immediately ready to pluck, like less than a second later. It is actually roughly about a second later. It is fantastic, it is simple, and it is much better than in the first game. You don't have to, if you've got Pikmin, you don't have to wait on them. Also, you may notice, Louis' whistle sounds a lot different from Olimar's. It's just a bit of a cosmetic thing. It functions the same. Also, his way of giving orders sounds a little bit different too. And the orders are much more precise in this game. It is absolutely amazing. Honestly, after playing the first game, it gave me a greater appreciation for the second and third games, and how much more they have progressed. Yeah, and the Pikmin also, like, make little singing almost noises in it. Also, get ready for product placement! There is a ton of it in this game, because they wanted to include, basically, trash from the real world as treasures. So because of that, you will see a lot of name brand products, and as an interesting detail, different treasures are different in different versions of the game. Well, I just said different way too many times there. But yeah, the treasures are different in the American version, Japanese version, and European version, based on what products are common in those countries. They actually did complete retexturing and changed what even some of the treasures were completely in the different versions. It was a lot of effort went into this game, and I am so happy for it. It's just a fantastic concept. The only reason we found it here is because this is where you crash landed. How fortunate. I would like to appraise it, but you must regroup with Olimar first. Can you see him? Yes, I know exactly where he is. Press L to move the camera. Yep, I know camera controls. Thank you. So yeah, we can't get this treasure yet because we don't actually have access to the ship. But as you can see, there's these paper bags here. If we throw a Pikmin on top of them, we need to put 15 Pikmin, but we only have 11 ourselves. We switch to Olimar, who currently has 5. And we can go right over to here. And toss them on, and it gets flattened out. And with that, Olimar and Louie have regrouped. So that's the first of the co-op puzzles in this game, but they're usually pretty simple. Largely, having multiple captains lets you split up tasks more efficiently. And in the third game, oh, it's beautiful. The Go Here feature, beautiful. Love it. But we won't have that for a while. And, oh god, I can't wait to get to the third game again. But I'm going to love this so much. I'm just so excited to be playing Pikmin again. Captain Olimar, Louie, you are reunited at last. This has been a troublesome start to our trip. But now you must feel assured that your combined wits can get you through anything, correct? And I think Olimar is pretty much all the wits here. Yep. Yeah, it's just telling more controls. So something important, when you dismiss your Pikmin, you will also dismiss the other captain that's with you. So let's go ahead and get 3 Pikmin. Actually, may as well make it more. If I recall, there's nothing else around here that we can get other than this body here. Also an important detail, Pikmin do still trip in this game, but they don't stay down as long. Am I playing on an emulator? No, I am playing on my original GameCube copy, which I have had since I was about 7 years old. Also, if I recall, this is partially buried, so we should probably get Pikmin digging it up if we can. Come on, little guy, you ought to get to work on that. But yeah, no emulators for me. I've got my GameCube controller I've had since I was 5. I have my original GameCube, the Indigo one. Just all set to go. Also, Spifer, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. I don't believe I've seen you here before. Okay, so they try to grab this, and as you can see, we don't have quite enough Pikmin. We're pretty close, though. Alright, Louie? Okay, okay, I forgot about that. You can't tap a captain to get their attention. You have to whistle them, which I don't really want to do yet. Bought a GameCube still in its original packaging for $20. Wow, that is a steal. Well, enjoy the console. It's a fantastic one. It's what I grew up on. And while there are some greats that came before it, the GameCube generation was my childhood, so I love it. Now, just like in the first game, I believe you can leave these Pikmin in the ground because there's infinite time in this day. And you could just have them all, or just about all your Pikmin be flowers if you wanted to do that. But I'm not going to waste your guys' time. Let's go ahead and get these guys on there, and there we go. Also, in this game, Pikmin's AI for getting onto an object is much better. You're looking for Pikmin 2 streams right now in Kansas? Oh, are you from Kansas, or are you hoping I'm from Kansas? I'm not from Kansas. I'm from Colorado. Oh, and I've recently moved to California. But yeah, glad to have you tuning in, and I'm glad you enjoy watching Pikmin 2 because I intend to play through the full game 100%. I've done it before, maybe only a couple times. I've played through like the beginning of this game dozens and dozens of times. But fully to 100%, I've only done a couple of times in my life. And this is going to be one of them. Oh, you bought your GameCube in Kansas. You live in California. I see. Well, anyhow, glad to have you here. But yeah, sometimes those like places where if you go to somewhere that isn't so much a collector store and they just happen to have it, you can get some amazing stuff for low prices. Alright, once we get that in, I believe that will be the end of the day off the top of my head, because there's not really anything else we can access. And we have it. Our first treasure, a Duracell D battery, the Courage Reactor. 280 Pokos. We have to get 10,000 to get the basic ending of this game, but you know, there's more beyond that. So, let's go ahead. Our first day of exploration has yielded our first treasure. We will be done in record time. I took the liberty of naming it when I appraised it. The name reflects my current thinking. Alright, I guess so. Leave it to me to think up catchy names for hit products. It is but one of my many talents. I don't think these would really be hit products, considering you said 100 Pokos is more than a year's salary, and this is what, 180 was it? Who could realistically afford that? Definitely not the general public. You got this from, you got it from this old German guy, I guess bought it from his kid, but forgot to give it to him all those years ago. At a garage sale, wow. That's really something. I don't think he realized how rare something like that is. But hey, glad that you were able to get it. We shall end our first day here and report back to our president. His face will surely be joyous. However, to communicate with Hokatat, we must fly into low orbit above the planet. By the way, I think I'm just going to stick with Hokatat, or Hokatat. I'm not going to try to say Hokatade. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, and I've heard different people pronounce it in a dozen different ways before, so I'm just going to stick with what sounds natural to me. We will not return to the surface until morning, so as to avoid the indigenous nocturnal creatures. So yeah, with that, we have the end of our first day. This time with Olimar and Louie. And the Pikmin have already found their way back to their home. You say Hokate? Eh, that's fine. And as we take off, no predators at the moment. Oh, there's one little one over there, but no worries about that. There was not even a chance for us to leave them behind today. Also, funny thing with this game, well, I say funny, more like horrifying. In this game, when you leave Pikmin behind, it's not like the first one. In the first one, if you left any Pikmin behind, it would only show one Pikmin of each color that you left behind getting killed. In this game, it'll show just about all of them you've left behind dying at the end of the day, at least up to a cap. You want to watch me play Submerged Castle? Well, I've got a treat for you coming. I love and hate the Submerged Castle. It terrifies me, and that's awesome. It's fantastic. It's such a great part of the game. But I intend, with this, for the last cave that I go through before I reach the 10,000 Poco limit, like when I hit that, the cave that will be the last one that I hit it with will be the Submerged Castle, as a sort of like mid-game finale, if that makes sense. So, and the statistics on when you get Pikmin in this game is much more complex than in previous games. As you can see, it has all the different types, and there's even a couple more types that are going to be in this game that weren't in the first one, of course. And if you press Z, you can see how all of your Pikmin have died today and in the entire playthrough. I love statistics like this. It's one of my favorite things about Pikmin 2. And at the end of the day, instead of Olimar's journal, we get mail instead. You found your first bit of treasure. Fine work. Our future depends on your efforts, so check your treasure hoard regularly. I'll check in often. Keep up the pace. Yes, we hear back from our boss. And it's not just our boss we can hear back from. And there are actually dozens and dozens of different messages you can get at the end of the day that vary based on how you've played. And, speaking of things that I absolutely love in this game, the Piklopedia. This is such a great idea. I was so sad when they removed it in Pikmin 3, but thank God with the deluxe version they are bringing it back. You can observe all of the native flora and fauna in this little encyclopedia. And if you go here, you can actually toss Pick carrots at them, and they'll react to them as if they were Pikmin, and you can watch them attack. And if you press X, you can see a journal entry of Olimar's notes on what he thinks of them. This is so good to me. like, it shows the side of Olimar that is the curious side of him. He talked in the first game of how he was constantly wondering about the various creatures in this world. He wanted to study them, and in this game, because there is no time limit in this game, which is both good and bad in my opinion, but that's a talk for another time. Basically, Olimar, knowing he has more time, has decided to study them and categorize them. Like, this is when we find out, or when we get more details on this being a bread bug. Although initially identified as a juvenile red bulborb, groundbreaking new research indicates that this creature is in fact a member of the breadbug family. A close relative of the vanilla breadbug, it escapes predation through mimicry. Unique adaptation of the red bulborb's crimson coloration allows the species to safely commingle. Such effective adaptation and obfuscation by prey species is rare, indicating this clever creature is a master of mimicry. Things like that. World building, explaining things, letting us get to know the characters by seeing their notes. All of that are things that I absolutely love it. Also, as a fun detail, you can see the number of these creatures you have defeated in your entire playthrough and how many Pikmin you've lost to them. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. Just love it. Yeah, you can also see treasures. I'm not going to be reading through all of these, but I just want to show that's a thing. You can see how much it was worth, and there's all kinds of little details to that. But yeah, I'm not going to bother reading through all of those on stream. Oh, well, thank you, Spifer. Thank you very much. I actually have a Rode NT1A. I do a bit of audio work on the side, so I try to have a decent audio setup. It's not as good as my old one because I don't have soundproofing in this room, but does the job for me. Either way, though, we finished up with that, and we're ready to continue. Also, I'm thinking about putting together a video of me reading through all of the Piclopedia entries as well as all the treasure entries and having it be like a big YouTube video just reading through absolutely everything. I might send a link to that when I'm done with the stream and want to show you guys. I'll probably do it for Pikmin 3 as well. I've always wanted to, and I'm sure there's things like that out there, but I don't know. I'd like to throw my hat into the ring for it. And we land again on our second day to immediately get a call from the ship. Good morning, workers. Ready for another day of toiling for the profit of your company? Way to inspire us there, ship. The Pikmin seem to still be asleep inside their onion. What lazy creatures. No wonder they lack survival skills. Stand beneath the onion and press A to call them. So yes, we'll go ahead over to here. Oh, it actually walks us over. And as soon as we press A underneath, we can go ahead and withdraw all of them. I don't see any reason not to. But today is our first day on a timer. Now, the timer is somewhat arbitrary because, you know, we don't actually have any way we would run, or we won't run out of time in our total playthrough, even if we can run out of time in the day. We just need to be careful that all of our Pikmin are back before the end of the day. Also, we're going to be, of course, getting... Oh yeah, I forgot that in this game, Candy Pop the 5 pellet buds are a bit different. They break in one hit as well. Anyway, let's go ahead and get those. And I believe there's some Candy Pop buds over this way. Yeah, you just have to make sure all your Pikmin are with you before the end of the day. That's the important thing. As long as you keep track of that, you'll mostly be fine. Also, generally speaking, in this game, Pikmin are a lot better at finding you, which is very, very welcome. Okay, is he going to start carrying that? Is it going to help with the other one? Perfect. They're going to get to work on that, and I can head back while they take care of that. Also, Spifer, I didn't ask. What are you cooking? If you're cooking while watching, I'm curious. Also, you can see this over here. There's another Dwarf Bulborb on the other side of it. But this one requires 35 Pikmin to open, which we should have once we get the last of those pellets over to here. And also, as a great thing in this game, you actually can pluck basically at double speed if you're both together, because both captains will start plucking, which saves a lot of time. It's great. The things you learn to appreciate in these games. Also, we technically have enough Pikmin now to get it open, but I think a few of them are still carrying back pellets. But it's fine. Now, it is possible to actually toss your Pikmin completely over and screw this up, because if you do that, you might not be able to actually complete anything today. But again, doesn't matter. There's no time limit. Pan-seared Jamaican chicken breast. That sounds delicious. Oh, you can see here, by the way, a pellet posy regrowing. Oh, wow, that's a 5 pellet posy as well. Definitely going to want to get that. What I think we'll do, once these guys are in, let's get you to work on that. And I'll need to pluck a couple before we can carry that in. Grab you guys. There we go. Now this will be enough Pikmin to get that going. Come on. Oh, wait, I did not say to grab more than one. Come on, there's 5 of you up there. What are you doing? There we go. He just couldn't get a hold of it. Now, if I recall, days are actually slightly shorter in this game than in the first one, but because there's no time limit, it's not that big a deal. And not only that, but there's another reason. Days actually tend to be technically longer in this game as far as gameplay time goes. Alright, we do that and squish that on down. I'm not going to take care of the Pikmin that are in the ground yet, because I want to get these all going, and I'll try to take care of all of them simultaneously. Now, we have our first red Bulborb here. Technically, this is a different species from the spotty Bulborbs of the first game. What happens if red take a blue pellet into their onion? It'll only give 1 Pikmin. If I recall, if they give a one pellet of the wrong color, they get 1 Pikmin. If they get the right color, it'll be two Pikmin. If it's a 5 pellet of the wrong color, they'll only get 3 Pikmin of their type. If it's 10 pellet, I think it's like 7. 20 pellet, it'll be like 15 or something like that. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but that's like an estimate. Now, we could throw Pikmin at this guy, but as with the first game, you want to get your reds together, group them all up, and rush his butt! The literal bum rush strategy is the best option against this guy, because you can usually take him down before he is able to kill anyone. Now, what we're going to do here. 4, 5. This guy requires 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's enough. And we have our second treasure here. Now, it's not going to have a reaction to it when you get close like in the first game. And as you can see, we don't actually have enough Pikmin to carry that. Also, thank God, in this game, if you just walk by something that needs done, your Pikmin won't latch onto it without you telling them to. I am forever grateful for that, because that's one of the most annoying mechanics in the first game, is constantly losing track of your Pikmin because they decide to do something without your permission. Also, hello, little guys. I'm curious, is there anything up there today? No. There can be something that spawns up there, but it doesn't look like we have any today, which is not a big deal. Let's just go ahead and get plucking. And that's that. Get as many on this as possible to try to get this moving a bit faster. There we go. Also, when Pikmin fail to latch onto something, they're a lot better about it. They tend to just run back to you instead of just standing still on the ground for no real reason. Alright, this is going to be enough, I think. Yeah, this is enough Pikmin to be able to carry back that treasure. We'll get that game carried back, and then we'll come back to pluck while these guys are carrying it. Also, technically, this isn't enough to carry it, but I can grab 4 from the wall that's being broken down over there while they continue to work on it. These poor little leaf Pikmin are so very slow. Just gonna dismiss you guys so you all get to work on that. Grab just 4 of you. Oh, he's not close enough. Whatever. I'll come back for him later. Louie. I'm actually going to take advantage of something here by leaving Louie behind, because then we can actually kind of split our focus a little bit. Going to send Olimar back to get to work over here and plucking these Pikmin. And then once we have the treasure back... Oh! That's done. How could Pikmin destroy such a massive wall? When masked, their might is ferocious. Louis, did Olimar instruct you on proper Pikmin commanding protocol? Yes, we don't... Apparently not, Olimar. You are failing at allowing to explain. Yes, we know how to control our Pikmin. We played the entire first game. This is fine. And you already told us on top of that. You don't need to tell us twice. Yeah. Also, in general, the plucking animation is just faster in this game, allowing you to get a lot more done a lot faster. You don't have to wait for them to sprout. It's just a lot of convenience in this game, and I am so grateful for it. Now that we have spare Pikmin, I am going to take them and dismiss them here, and they should all latch onto there quickly. And I'm going to switch back to Louie. So this is how you manage your Pikmin, is basically to save space and time by going across. Is it hot in Colorado? Heat wave is hitting us down here. Oh, no. I used to live in Colorado. I currently live in California, so I'm being hit with the same heat wave you are. It's about 102 degrees where I am right now. As you can see, there's water over there, which we can't do anything about. And here, it gets green as we get close to a cave. Our first one of the game. Interesting. Warm air is welling up from the hole in the ground before you. 106 here. Oh, you're in Southern California, ain't you? Yeah, it's pretty rough in a lot of places right now. But, oh, by the way, with that, I mentioned at the start of the stream, you weren't here for that. I realized I still have my fan on in the background, and I said I was going to do something I regret, and I'm already starting to. I turned off my fan in the room because I didn't want to ruin the audio quality. This is a room where I can't open the window because it's hot outside. I have the door closed behind me because I don't want to bother the rest of the household. And I can't turn the fan on because that would ruin the audio. On top of that, my computer is running like a space heater, just turning up the temperature higher and higher. By the end of this stream, it's going to be awful. What could lie underground? What is wrong? You both show expressions of unease. I'm personally excited. Do not fear. The leader's group of Pikmin will join you. I shall dispatch my research pod too. Approach the hole and press A to jump in. Alright, well we could, but we don't really want to just yet. I'd like to, well, the amount of Pikmin we have for this is plenty, realistically. But I would like to have this in first. But yeah, Pikmin you leave on the surface will be perfectly safe. And it has to be Pikmin in the leader's group. That's an important detail. I'm cooking outside in this weather with chicken is way worth it. Yeah, you know what? That's worth. That is completely worth it for that kind of food. And this is utter scrap. Still worth almost double a year's salary, but you know, scrap metal is apparently worth a lot of money. Now let's go ahead and take our Pikmin and head along. Unfortunately, the large majority of them are with Olimar. I could head in with Louie without any real trouble, but it's fine. Just gotta make sure no Pikmin are left behind. They usually don't just stick behind you, or they don't just stand still because they fall too far behind too often in this game. But, you know. Anyway, this is the Emergence Cave. There are no special hazards in it, and we're going in with all 70 of our Pikmin, which is complete overkill, by the way. So, let's go ahead in. Oh, and the cave mechanic is something new to this game. While you're in a caves are semi-randomly generated, I guess procedurally generated, with certain floors being set. So it'll be a little different every time you play. And while you're in caves, there's no day timer, and time does not pass. You'll save between every floor. So this is what I mean by days being a lot longer in this game. Intriguing. My heat sensors indicate that this hole's interior is warmer than on the surface. Analysis suggests subterranean areas may support different life forms than the surface. If you wish to check underground terrain, press start to communicate with me. I am not just a ship, I am an all-purpose support pod. Well, at least that's very useful. Thank you, ship. Let's go ahead and call our Pikmin. And we can already see a couple of treasures here. If I call this to... Oh, that only takes 4, not even 5. And here we have a new type of Pikmin. I believe these are called dwarf white bulborbs or something like that. Or dwarfs... Or no, are these called snowy bulborbs? Yeah, these are snowy bulborbs. Or dwarf snowy bulborbs. Either way, these enemies are relatively simple ones. They're basically just reskins of the dwarf bulborbs. They act the exact same way. but are different color. Also, here we have the Quenching Emblem. A very old-fashioned 7-Up cap. Again, more product placement, get used to it, it ain't gonna stop anytime soon. Now let's go ahead and get that orange that orange in, and as you can see, there's another way down that we're locked onto now that we can't stop looking at. This hole appears to be quite deep. My sensors indicate more treacherous terrain ahead. Louis, you not recall? Yeah, I know map controls. You don't have to tell me the controls 3 times in one day. Anyway, now we have our first enemy being brought back. You may have wondered what was going to happen if we had enemies being brought back without an onion. How can you possibly consider this beast a treasure? Beasts are incompatible with my circuitry. I suppose I will store your finds in my hold. But I do not think beasts will be worth much. Yeah, basically, you can bring back bodies, and they are worth a few Pokos. If you have the spare Pikmin, there's really no reason not to do this. So yeah, you can bring them back. Since we don't have the last treasure anyway, I don't see any reason not to, so we'll go ahead. They're usually only worth like 2 or 3, maybe 10. So it's not much, but it's something. You may as well bring them back. And we have our next treasure. As you can see, we're actually invisible in these scenes. However, our Pikmin will still run to us if we're nearby. Citrus lump. And you hear this sound? That sound indicates that you have gotten every single treasure on this floor. That's a very easy way to know there's no treasure left in an area, and you are 100% done. Which is quite easy to do. It's usually. Sometimes it's going to be hard, but I'm going to make a point and try in this playthrough to beat every single cave on my first try, every single treasure, so I do not have to revisit them. That's the goal for this playthrough. And as we reach the second floor, this is the final floor for this area. It has that very ominous sound, but this is actually just a very simple floor like any other. We honestly probably could have gone into this with just like 10, maybe 15 Pikmin and been perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and get you guys carrying those back. And here we have a special treasure. Half of a globe. It's inconceivable that such an immense object has been buried here for so long. The design of the outer shell resembles the surface of the planet as seen from space. Except it still shows countries on it, interestingly enough. Perhaps this can be used for something other than salvage. But how will we ever lift it? I fear that even 100 red Pikmin will be unable to lift it. And yes, that's the truth. If we go for it, it requires 101. And 100 is the limit of Pikmin you can ever have on the field, and that's not changed in this game whatsoever. The way it's managed is a little bit different. Let's take the Pikmin we have and clear a path. There's a lot of snowy Bulborbs here, so let's get them all out of the way. Come on. Okay, I don't think we lost any Pikmin. Any Pikmin that get eaten, you have until they finish being chewed to actually save them. So usually your Pikmin are not in a lot of danger. Alright. Let's just get Pikmin on all of these. There we go. We still have plenty with us for what's ahead. As you can see, we have flowers. You may recognize these from the first game. These are candy pop buds. They convert Pikmin into other types. Astounding. A flower blooms in a cave deep beneath the snowy landscape. Pacifist run? I don't know what that is, but no, that sounds terrible. Okay, what's a pacifist run? I actually haven't heard of that. Clearly it is warmer down here than above. Look, the Pikmin are restless. They look as if they yearn to be tossed into the flower. Yep, so these... we can toss up to 5 Pikmin inside, and then they wilt, but as you can see, we have a new color of Pikmin among us now. These are purple Pikmin. They don't have an onion, you can only get them from flowers underground, but they are special and completely overpowered. Amazing, a purple Pikmin. It has hair and is quite stocky. It seems very heavy and strong. This kind of Pikmin was not mentioned in your report, Olimar. It must be an entirely new type. Complete the game without killing unnecessary enemies, Pacifist. I've technically killed several unnecessary enemies already. That's not really my kind of run. I might try someday to do a no death run, like never losing a single Pikmin. I think I could pull that off. But that's about all I'd really want to go for. I also have legitimately started thinking about trying to speedrun the first game, possibly even the second. Like, I've never really been one for speedruns, but it sounds like it'd be something really fun to do, and looking at speedruns of this game, it's difficult, but I think it's something I could do well enough. Like, I don't think I'd ever take the world record or anything like that, but I think I could do pretty well for myself. Either way, let's go ahead and get these guys. As you can see, we have 10 purple Pikmin now. Now, purple Pikmin are special in a few ways. If I grab them... Let's see, what was the button again in this game? Oh, is there not a cycle button? Oh, no, the cycle button is this button. Right, I remember now. What's the name of the red ship? It's, HAL 9000, that's quite fitting. The official name is the Hokotet Freight Ship. That's all it's known as. Oh, did I pass it? No, I didn't. So as you can see, purple Pikmin are much slower than any other type of Pikmin. If we throw them as well, they slam to the ground with a thump. If they land on enemies, they will actually stun them. And if they try to pick something up, they can lift 10 times as much as any other Pikmin. By putting all of them on there, we are able to more than go past that 101 limit with ease. I'm going to put even more Pikmin on it because I want this to be in as quickly as possible. There we go. But yeah, he's just known as the Hokotet Freight Ship, and that's all. He doesn't actually have a name as far as I know. Come on, little guys, get on there. Not sure if they're actually really saving that much time, because every time one of them jumps on, it stands still for a second while they find their place. Which I don't think is ideal. I kind of get annoyed that that happens, but, you know. Yeah, I usually just refer to him as the ship. Purple Pikmin remind you of sumos, fat and strong. Yep, I completely agree. I think that's kind of where the inspiration came from. Because as you notice, when you first see one of them, they do like that sort of... I don't know what it's called, where they lift one foot up and then slam it down. That's so common in sumo wrestling. I don't know, I assume that was what it was meant to look like. Either way, we've got this last treasure here. We're 200, but the Spherical Atlas has a special effect. There's a device resembling a microchip embedded inside this sphere, retrieving data. Error. I could only decode a portion of the data, but I did retrieve new geographic charts. I'll input this data into my planetary database and name it the Sphere Chart. Press start. Yeah, you can check out your Explorer's Kit. There's a lot of things in the Explorer's Kit, and yeah, starting tomorrow, we'll be able to explore a new area. So, one thing I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to have Louie whistle these Pikmin. Because they are so slow, I would actually lose track of these Pikmin and leave them behind just by walking. Like, flower purple Pikmin are manageable, but leaf purple Pikmin are so slow they will constantly be lagging behind and you have to slow down for them. So I leave them behind with Louie, and I head here to the exit, a geyser. Now for entering a cave, only the leader's Pikmin will go inside. However, as long as your Pikmin are with someone, when you go to the next floor or leave, then they will follow you. Astounding! Water is shooting out of this geyser with incredible force. Sensors indicate it has enough power to launch you into the air. Approach and press A to try. Sure, what could possibly go wrong? Boiling water? Being sent at us at high velocity? Yeah, it seems perfectly safe. Let's get in. And we're wearing suits, right? But the Pikmin aren't. Yeah, we go in that, and we have it. So, cave complete. We have every single treasure inside. And I want to show you guys an Easter egg right now. Now, it'll take a little bit, and this doesn't exist in the Wii version of this game, only in the GameCube version. If you complete a cave and stay on this screen long enough, you will hear the legendary Totaka's song. And for those of you who don't know, Totaka is a music composer that works with Nintendo and works on many of their games. And every time he works on a game, he hides a little short tune called Totaka's Song somewhere in the game where you're unlikely to come across it easily. He worked on Pikmin 2, and this is where it's hidden in this game. You have to complete a cave 100% for the first time, and then you stay on this screen without pressing A for, I think, a couple of minutes. So we're going to stay here for a couple of minutes while we wait for that to pop up. Sorry that it's going to be a little bit boring for a minute, but I really do want to show this. When I played this game on YouTube years ago, I tried to show it off, but I physically couldn't. Because I was playing on the Wii version of the game, and that kind of ruined it, as I found out it isn't actually possible to do on the Wii version. Yeah, let me double check how long it takes real quick. I'm trying to be quiet so I can hear it when it happens. It's 3 minutes and 50 seconds. So we've still got a little bit of time left. Apparently the first game that Totaka's song appeared in was Mario Paint. That I did not know. And yes, for some reason it was taken out in Pikmin 2 for the Wii. I don't know why it was, but it was, and that sucks. I couldn't show it off back then, but hey, I can finally show it off now, years later. So how are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing fantastic. We're dealing with a heat wave here, so I hope you guys are surviving it just fine and staying safe. I know there's roving power outages right now, so if I suddenly cut out, that's why. But yeah, we're doing all right here. And I hope you guys are doing well too. World's a little bit crazy right now, but it's part of why I actually really like streaming at these times, because I know things aren't great at the moment for a lot of people. Stuck it. Oh, it's burnt. I'm sorry, Spifer. Oh. Personally, I think burnt chicken's still really good chicken, because I like chicken. It's one of the things I have on a regular basis. But yeah, I don't know. I like to feel connected with people during times like this, which is why I enjoy streaming so much, especially now. Alright, we should be approaching it any second now. I don't actually know how long we've been at the screen, but it's got to be approaching at least like the 2-minute 30-second mark-ish. Actually, I could just look at how long the stream's been going. Been going an hour? I think we've been at this at least a couple minutes. I didn't look at when we got to this screen, though, so give it a minute. We'll get there. There it is. And that is Totaka's song. You see, I've never actually heard it in my own playthroughs. I knew it existed and I wanted to show it with the YouTube playthrough, but it didn't exist there. But yeah, that is the secret of Totaka's song in this game. There's a few other Easter eggs that I intend to show off as well. Don't you worry, I will show everything that I know about in this game. So, yeah. I don't know, that's just one of those... Totaka's song is one of those things that always makes me really happy to hear. Also, Robbie Told, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs in this game, actually, and a lot of references, too, and I'll try to explain all of them that I can. You have successfully returned to the planet's surface. Excellent decision-making, gentlemen. We must celebrate your first successful spelunking expedition. You've gathered a large amount of data that needs in-depth analysis. I shall send a report back to the President tonight detailing your progress. Alrighty. And that's done with. And I think this will force end the day because there's really nothing we can do for the rest of the day. Olimar and Louis, since you will explore a new area tomorrow, today's work is done. Yep. What? You still want to work? Unacceptable. You may not realize it, but you are exhausted. No, we're not! You should take a much-needed rest, and you have all the time you need to collect treasure. That's true. Technically we do. Only the President will suffer back home if we take too long. Haste makes waste, so take it slow and steady. By the way, if you take too long to get to pay off the debt in this game, you get a lot of bizarre messages from the President talking about all kinds of things. I'll get to it when we get there because we'll see a fair number of them in this playthrough because I'm not going to be rushing, but I'm not too inefficient with this game, so I should be able to get through it without most of the messages being shown. Yeah, as you can see, the purple Pikmin actually get pulled into the ship as a temporary storage for them since there are no purple onions. I believe it's hinted at that there were purple onions at some point, but they were destroyed or damaged in some way. So the species is on the verge of extinction, only existing because of purple candy pop buds. Just an interesting little detail. Today's report. Let's take a look. Okay, we managed to get 672 Pokos. Not bad. We're nearly 10% of the way there. Pikmin numbers have increased greatly, and still not a single death. I'm going to try to go as long as I can without a death. Like, I'm going to try to be safe as much as possible. But if one Pikmin dies, I'm not going to reset things. Pikmin got yeeted into the ship. Yes, they did. I suppose even more so when leaving the cave, just launched out of there. Alright, and now we have our mail for today. Let's see what the President has to say. Baby steps first, Olimar. Plan well, and don't worry about me. Our debt is with Happy Hocketate Savings and Loan, after all. Besides, there's nothing left for them to repossess, so ha! Yep, what could possibly go wrong, President? You just have fun there. And now, we can't physically do anything more in the Valley of Repose right now, so it's time to go on to the next area. Just gonna look real quick at the Piclopedia, seeing everything that's new in it. Got the Red Bulborb. Yep, Snow Bulborb, that's what they're called. Got the Clover. Even basic things like that have an entry, as well as the Violet Candy Pop Bud. Again, I'm gonna be making a video that goes over all the entries on all of these creatures. As well as probably all the treasure entries, but that's a thing for later. Not going to do that on the stream. I'm only going to do that off stream. I'll just record it, get it all together, compile it, make it all nice and pretty, and put it into one big YouTube compilation. And here we are in the Awakening Wood. Now, the area might look a little bit familiar to you. It is fully confirmed that this area is the Forest of Hope from the first game. Granted, it has changed drastically in the short time we've been gone. Good morning. It should please you to know the purple Pikmin are lodged safely in my hull. The confines of my interior seem to suit them perfectly, though they do occasionally tickle me. Standing in the ring of light below me, and press A to call the purple Pikmin out. So yeah, we can just pull the purple Pikmin for here anytime. I'm going to go ahead and pull out, let's go with all 10 of them, why not? And then pull out all of our reds that we can, because there's, again, no reason not to. Whoops. Have to make sure to withdraw all of them. Now, one thing you can do, by the way, you can whistle Pikmin to get them off of the onion a little bit faster. It saves a minuscule amount of time, but not enough to really make a difference. Also, we have a new enemy here. What's happening? Louis, has Olimar instructed you on the peculiarities of Pikmin creatures? What's happening? Pikmin form groups based on color. Oh yeah, if you distribute them with X, they break into groups. Yeah, we know this. This is all instructions that we know. So yeah, we have a new enemy here. These are sheer grubs. Specifically, these are female ones. They're entirely harmless, but you can kill them and then carry them back for more Pikmin. The male ones, however, are quite dangerous, more so than even some larger enemies, in my opinion. Alright, got that. Let's go ahead and keep adding to the Pikmin population. And looking around, there are some treasures not too far from here, but we're not going to be able to get them just yet. Oh, and he's getting there. So now, I want to show you how ridiculously overpowered purple Pikmin actually are. Now, here we have a spotty bulb, or a red bulb orb. Normally I'd attack them from behind, that'd be your best chance of taking them out, right? Well, nope, screw that. If you just rapidly throw purple Pikmin on something, they take extra damage, get stunned, and die almost instantly, no matter what you do. Also, just to add insult to injury, one of them, literally one of them, can carry back that entire thing. Granted, they'll do it at a snail's pace, but they can still do it. Alright, let's get you guys on there. And we've got them getting carried back. Also, I am gonna actually throw more Pikmin on there, just because they may as well. They're not doing anything else. And here, we've got some grass, which we're going to set our Pikmin to taken care of. Oh, there's two of you there, so I... Oh, why not? I'll set... Actually, I really don't want purple Pikmin doing that. Just want you guys. And now we have Nectar here for the first time in the game. Let's get as many Pikmin on it as we can. And as soon as they drink the Nectar, our Pikmin become Flower Pikmin. Purple Pikmin need to be nerfed. I completely agree. From what I understand, they were nerfed in Pikmin 3, but they weren't even in the story mode. They were only in the challenge mode, so it doesn't even matter. My hope for Pikmin 4 is that all Pikmin types will be available and able to be used, and ideally have their own separate onions, because I hated the one onion system in Pikmin 3. I really despise that. But hopefully they'll be back to kind of like the Pikmin 2 system, all of them available, and none of them left out. But yes, purple Pikmin need nerfed. I'd say make it so the first purple Pikmin you throw stuns them, maybe stuns them a little bit longer, but purple Pikmin don't deal bonus damage when they land. They only stun for the first throw, and then that enemy becomes immune to being stunned for a short time. That would make them a really interesting strategic tool to try to time your stuns correctly, instead of just being the thing where you spam Pikmin until it dies. What kind of new Pikmin do you think? I'm not sure. I will say, though, nobody believes me on this. I predicted pink winged Pikmin in the third game. I had a feeling it was going to be a thing. Like, yeah, the idea of Pikmin with wings, not that strange of a concept. They're kind of like bugs. The idea of flying bugs, not that strange. I specifically thought if they added winged Pikmin, though, they would be pink and tiny, and I was right. Not that that really matters at all. I just remember thinking that as a kid, and I was so happy when they revealed winged Pikmin, and it happened to be exactly what I thought they'd be. What was it, though? As far as new types of Pikmin, honestly, I'm not sure. Rock Pikmin already seemed kind of redundant compared to what was available. Maybe some sort of like metallic Pikmin of some sort could also be a thing, but I don't know what they would do to be special because, you know, yellows have electricity, which is one thing they could interact with. Rocks are already, you know, rocks for breaking things. I'm not sure. I really don't know. No, I don't think metallic would really work, because if they include purples, purples are already heavier, and that's about the only thing I could think of would fit for metallic. Oh, maybe a Pikmin species that specializes in digging or something like that. I'm not sure. I really don't know what they would include. Luckily, that's for the creative minds in Nintendo. Gaseous Pikmin. Okay, not something I'd expect, but okay, that could be interesting. Alright. How intriguing. Like plants, Pikmin nurtured from leaf to bud to flower. Oh, like ghostly Pikmin left over when they die? Interesting idea. That could be something. I'm not sure. I wonder how that would work. Captain Olimar, you must share the information you have with your sworn Louis. Yeah, it's basically Olimar already knows this stuff like we do. But he just doesn't tell... Oh, no. Ah, they're wasting the nectar. Okay, this is why you don't want leaf Pikmin to be the ones taking care of your grass situation. And yes, we've hit the 100 Pikmin limit. Please don't give me this tutorial every time I hit the limit in this game. It did that in Pikmin 1, it glitched out, and I really don't want that again. Olimar, we have a problem. The onion has ceased ejecting seeds. Is it malfunctioning? Interesting. It now seems the number of life forms within the onion has increased. Didn't you note that no more than 100 Pikmin will venture onto the planet at once? But I currently observe only 95 on the surface. Could there be wild Pikmin somewhere? That's right, I forgot about that. We don't have 100, but we've already hit the area limit. Also, the strawberry is back, or as it's called, the sunseed berry. I don't know why, I always remembered this one being called the sunseed berry. Sure enough, there it is. Yep, 10% of the debt is recovered. We're already at that point. So, let's go ahead and... I know there are more sheer grubs around there, and you guys can get... Oh, no, one of them's already being carried back. Let's call you guys. That's going to get done. And now I'm going to do something here to show you how ridiculous Nectar is in this game. Like, it's honestly completely broken. Pikmin 3 found the exact right balance for Nectar. Pikmin 1 was bad because one Pikmin could drink the entire thing and it would just waste it. But it was also really hard to get more than a couple Pikmin on it. Let's get you guys. Yes, in this game, yeah, see these three things in Nectar here? If I just bunch up my Pikmin, technically you could do this in Pikmin 1 as well if you did it just right. I am easily able to get almost my entire army flowered immediately without any difficulty. Like, there's literally only 2 left that aren't flowers. Also, we have something new here. Oh, one more. We have berries, a new mechanic. I'm going to set 5 onto each of those and set the rest of you guys to breaking down this wall, because this is actually a pretty sturdy wall. You can tell by how dark it is. Oh, sure, I'll get this. This is a honey wisp, a new enemy, a harmless enemy. Oh, that was weird. It disappeared, but didn't drop its nectar. Yeah, if you break its egg, it drops nectar onto the floor, which is very valuable to us. But I will worry about that later. And as you can see, these Pikmin here are getting these berries knocked off. We could send Pikmin on them individually, but they do a pretty good job. As soon as all the berries are knocked off, they will drop down and start carrying them themselves. And there's no real reason to put more than 5 at it, because they'll just head back to base and be perfectly fine. In Pikmin 3, it's even better, though, because they'll go above and beyond that. They'll keep coming back as these regrow throughout the day and get to work. Whoa! Why did that break? Okay, those are bursting for reasons I didn't know. Never mind, we should have more than 5 at it. Jeez, that's a complete waste. Well, that sucks. Yeah, they'll keep trying to climb up even if there's nothing there. Okay. Yeah, I was not aware that was a thing. I guess I always just swarmed it, but I thought I was being strategically bad on purpose. Like, I just didn't feel the need to do anything like that. Oh well, we got a berry in, which is very round and shiny. Astounding, this red berry contains ultra spicy essence. It does not appear to have any monetary value. I shall research potential uses for it. Bring me another specimen. Yes, you'll need 10 specimens specifically to get done everything with it. Unfortunately, that interrupted us with the nectar, so we weren't able to get them all from one, but now we have all flower Pikmin. Also, this guy comes out of the ground. Just rush his face, not his back. His back is completely covered. He will almost always grab one Pikmin, but as long as you are smart, that Pikmin will be perfectly fine. Let's get you guys. You can see there's a treasure up there, but we can't actually get it yet, unfortunately. Let's check here. This area here requires 200 Pikmin. We can't do that. We can get 100 out of it. Yep, I thought so. This is a new enemy. Sorry, one moment. This is the Creeping Chrysanthemum. Stun them with your purple Pikmin and rush if you can. Oh, well, I was too slow. I was way too slow at that because I was trying to explain things. There's a lot of tricks to this, but I unfortunately lost several Pikmin there. Well, there goes any hopes at a no Pikmin lost run. Alright, let's get those back, and, jeez, I already lost 2 Pikmin in the dumbest way. That's one of the easiest enemies there is, as long as you know where it is, and I did know where it was. Oh, we got a new cave here. Whoever was in charge of naming treasure in Pikmin 2 was on something. The names are wild. I love the names in this. Biological sensors are reacting violently. The readings are ominous. A beast of unknown power lurks in the depths. A large Pikmin group would be reassuring. My sound sensors are picking up hostile roars of many beasts. Expect dangerous encounters. Senses are also showing extreme heat pockets. You may need flame-resistant Pikmin. Well, red Pikmin are flame-resistant, so that's easy enough, but flames are honestly a non-factor in this game. They're completely harmless. You don't even need red Pikmin for them. In fact, because purple Pikmin are so good at combat, and that was red Pikmin's thing before, and flames are honestly a non-threat in like 90% of situations. Red Pikmin are kind of unnecessary in this game. They went from being the most useful in the first game to having barely a niche in the second game. But luckily, purple Pikmin are at least somewhat hard to get early in the game, so they're usually good for a long time. Anyway, this here is the Hole of Beasts, which we will be going in a little bit. I just want to make sure everything else is open to us that we can. Alright, here we have an area with weird reddish clouds around it and a wall. If we throw a Pikmin at it, that is poison. Pikmin will die if they get in it. Emergency, Pikmin are suffering. Blow your whistle to help them. Yes, if you just tell them, hey, stop being poisoned. Hey Pikmin, stop being poisoned, you're fine. See? Works every time. Now, I hear Pikmin in the distance hitting something. And splashes. That's something for later, though. Oh yeah, didn't mean to switch what I wanted to do. I remember Y was the button for the map in the first game. We can check where our Pikmin are there, and they are all perfectly safe. And you can actually see a blue onion further away. Alright, C-stick to zoom. So yes, that is available, but it's too far away for us to get to right now. Also, you can see in here, exploration kit. You can see the sphere chart is lit up there, but everything else is not. And yeah, I think we're all set. This main Pikmin should be more than enough to handle the Hole of Beasts, so let's go ahead in. And, yeah, little things like that are why I don't bother going for no Pikmin Lost runs, because it would just be obnoxious. Also, Spifer, I didn't even see you followed 6 minutes ago. Unfortunately, I can't hear my computer's audio, and plus the sound effect is a Pikmin sound effect. So you might not have even heard it either. But thank you so much for following. I'm glad to have you here, and I look forward to seeing you around. Alright, let's call our Pikmin now. And we're back into the caves. Okay, those are both dead ends that don't appear to contain anything. Oh, and we have enemies here, just female Sheargrubs, not a threat at all. Let's see, is there anything over here I should know about? Oh, male Sheargrubs. These ones are a threat. You're going to want to try to land directly on top of male Sheargrubs for the instant kill, because if they get a Pikmin in their pincers, they will kill it without fail. Oh, wait, no, sorry. That was in the first game. They always kill without fail. Second game, less so. Still, they're likely to kill a Pikmin if you don't kill them instantly, because they do kill quite quickly. So avoid that if you can. And try to keep your Pikmin safe. Now here, you got anything here this way? I don't see anything. You guys are just here. Is there no treasure on this floor? Doesn't seem like there is. I feel like I'm missing something. I swear there was a treasure on this first floor on the first time I played through. Just get really close to all these areas in case there's something hidden there. Glad Pikmin 3 electricity attacks stun and then kill them rather than instant kill. Honestly, I have to disagree with you there. I preferred the instant kill. Oh, here we go. First treasure. Just get our Pikmin on that. Once we have that, we're going to dismiss Louie by the way down and send Olimar back to the ship so we can get that done. But yeah, I preferred the brutal difficulty that certain attacks had. Crushing attacks and electricity are horrifyingly dangerous in this game. And crushing attacks were dangerous in the first game, too. I loved that. Pikmin 3 I felt was way too easy because oftentimes you'd lose maybe 2 or 3 Pikmin to even really tough enemies. So between that and the time limit being pretty unnecessary, I found Pikmin 3 was way too easy, which is why I'm so excited for Pikmin 3 Deluxe with its difficulty modes. Please tell me they're going to have a hard difficulty. I want it bad. 0000 pick people? Oh, wait, that's Mr. Grot. Hello, Robert. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. So, that's a friend of mine, Mr. Grot. If you guys are interested, he does streams as well, usually playing with his buddies. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. You should check him out. Let's see. I need to... Alright, I already got this guy. Alright. Olimar's got the ones back of the ship, and I've got the ones here. No Pikmin will be left behind. It'll give you a warning if you're going to ever leave Pikmin behind, but they will die if you do leave them behind, so be aware. That'll probably only be relevant to you if you go to the submerged castle, though. Because, my god, that place is terrifying. Like, honestly, you guys will see when we get to the submerged castle. That makes this feel like an actual horror game. And here we have a new type of plant, which I do want to bump into at least once, because that's how it gets added to our journal. Okay, so that is an egg. That will, without fail, that will usually produce at least 1 or 2 nectar. I may as well flower up a few Pikmin on it. There we go. Oh, those 3 didn't quite get enough to be able to get flowered up. But that's fine. They're red Pikmin. I need to have my purples flowered. Oh! Well, it doesn't matter that there's a few leaves. That's actually kind of what we want, is here we have more purple candy pop buds, so we can get more purple Pikmin. There we go, we can get 5 in there. Can't get any more. We have to use flowers from here. And now all those are sprouting. Doesn't look like there's any treasure around that I can see. May as well start plucking these guys then and start building up our purple population. It sucks that I lost a purple Pikmin earlier, because purples are the ones I want to have saved up the most, hands down. And these guys are leaves, which is terrible. Purple leaves are the bane of my existence in this game. Any treasure here? This might just be a flower floor, which is fairly normal, especially since this is basically another tutorial cave. There you go. I want all 10 of you. Come on. Clump up. And then get on it. Yes! All 10 of you flowers. Perfect. And, oh, well, we got another one here. This has a chance to have something other than nectar, though, so we may as well check to see. No, none such luck. So, that's everything for this floor. Let's go ahead and head out. And yeah, when you have a lot of Pikmin with you, they'll actually sing while down these caves. That dun 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 dun, the Pikmin 2 theme. Or I think that's like the Pikmin series theme, technically. I don't know. It's hard to say. Alright, all saved up. Let's go ahead and head on to sub-level 3. I think this is like a 4 or 5 level cave off the top of my head. And here we have our first fire hazard, which is completely harmless. Like, seriously, it doesn't matter even a little bit. Let's switch back to Olimar. I actually kind of prefer playing as Olimar for no real reason. Now, these will burn your Pikmin. We'll throw a purple at just to show that off. Red Pikmin are completely immune, of course, so it's fine. But yeah, if they get caught, then this happens. They catch on fire. And it's okay, though. Emergency, Pikmin suffering, PSP. Yeah, same tutorial as with the poison. But it's okay. Just like with the poison, we can just say, hey, stop being on fire. It's that easy. What's wrong with you? See? And they're not on fire. Simple. But yeah, allow me to show you why the fire is not even remotely a threat. Why you don't need red Pikmin at all to deal with fire. See these 18 purples? We could have a lot more of a different species, perhaps. Reds are the only ones immune. You just wait in between and attack. Look at that. You got rid of the geyser. In fact, I'm not even getting this one with perfect timing. Look at that. You got rid of the geyser. You can get through all of these without red Pikmin at all. There's no reason to rely on red Pikmin for it when you can just rush up and destroy it. And if they catch on fire like that, you can just whistle them back. Like I said, fire is a complete non-threat in this game. There are a few things that are a non-threat. It's part of why I think the electricity wasn't such a good idea in the second game. Because electricity became another complete non-threat. I don't know, I like things to be difficult, at least to some degree, like there to be a real threat and consequence to my actions. It's why I really liked in Pikmin 1 that fire geysers could not be destroyed. They were an obstacle that had to be dealt with. Now, red Pikmin do have the advantage. You can use them to take things out that you want to leave behind and just don't want to stand near and watch them do. But time limits are relatively minor in this game, so it's not that big a deal. Name, the Strife Monolith. I believe that's what's called a Mahjong piece? I could be wrong. I'm not familiar. I know it's used for a type of board game. Either way. Oh, well, we got hit there. Fire can still damage us, and we're actually a bit injured now. Let's go ahead and have you guys, as many as possible, get on this floppy disk, which I don't actually see what that is a floppy disk for, but we'll worry about that later. And we'll have Olimar wait here while Louie will gather the Pikmin that are back at the ship, and then we'll be ready to head out. And now we play the waiting game. But yeah, Fire Geysers being an obstacle made red Pikmin completely necessary to get anything carried past them. I mean, technically you could get things carried past without red Pikmin, but it was risky. Fire was a lot quicker to kill Pikmin. It was dangerous, and I liked that. I like Pikmin difficult, so I hope these difficulty options bring back things to scale the difficulty to be similar to how it was before. Also, I can't read that game. It looks like it's supposed to be a game on there. Oh, that's because it's in Japanese, obviously. I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's the Cosmic Archive, though. And as you can hear, the No More Treasure sound is playing. Let's go ahead and head down deeper. Getting comfy, and yeah, I'm really starting to sweat now with this heat wave and the fan off and the door closed and the, oh boy. Oh, this is not pleasant, but worth it. I'm here to stream for you guys. I promised I would be, so I will suffer through it for you. Even though I know there's not that many people that watch, and people probably wouldn't be that sad if I had to miss a day or probably like a full week with this heat wave out with how it's going. But I like to be consistent, you know? Either way, we have a red Bulborb down here. We're going to use the purple Pikmin method to just obliterate his face. Never knew it hit him. And here we have a special treasure. This one's a reference to Nintendo's history. There's a lot of treasures that are references to Nintendo's history. That is the Game & Watch. Now, I forgot to do this. I called Louie with me, but I don't actually want to do that. Oh, we were close enough to gather some of them, but not all of them. How's quarantine doing me? It's not so bad. I'm an introvert, so I'm fine with it. It's bad for my grandparents who I live with. I help take care of my grandparents, and staying inside constantly is not good for them, but none of us can afford to go out for risk of bringing it back to them. Here we have the Dream Architect, which is the Game & Watch ball. Alright, we got that. Let's go ahead and dismiss our Pikmin first. No, Louie, I don't want you. I want the Pikmin. Grab them. Grab them. There. That should be plenty. And now there should still be some treasure around here somewhere. I think there's one over here off the top of my head. Yeah, this one, though, only requires one Pikmin to lift it. So we can just set him on that. There we go, and we can get 5 more purples right here. We need to get as many purples as we can, because there will come a point in this game where we need 100 of them, and this is our only method is down here in the caves to get them. But that's fine. We can actually take this little shortcut right here, which Pikmin are much better about getting through in this game, by the way. Can we put more than one Pikmin on that? I can't remember. Yeah, we can get 2. It doesn't double the speed, but it does increase speed. Ah, perfect. Now, purple Pikmin actually slam onto that and instantly destroy it. Generally, if something can be instantly broken by landing on it, purple Pikmin actually home into it. But they also have the added effect of getting stuck on them when they kill them. Luck Wafer. So like a Snowy Bulborb or a Dwarf Red Bulborb, or just Dwarf Bulborb, they have the, they will, alright, I need that nectar for these 5 purples. Oh, are there any more purple flowers around? I think I've checked every nook and cranny, but I want to be certain in case there's more. I want to get all of them flowered. Yeah, nothing. But yeah, like if I killed a Dwarf Bulborb with a purple Pikmin laying directly on it. What is that? Oh god! Oh! Hi there. I was not expecting that. We got a rare enemy. These are called the something mites. Those enemies sometimes fall from the sky and they make your Pikmin panic if you throw your Pikmin into them. They can also hatch from these eggs occasionally. I was not expecting to find them this early. I was expecting them to be randomly coming from eggs and they make all your Pikmin panic and it sucks. However, I remembered luckily at the last second, you can actually kill these enemies by hitting them directly, or hitting nearby them with purples. It gives them a heart attack or something from the sudden thud and they just die. So yeah, that's something that happened, apparently. Wasn't expecting that. But yeah, sometimes they will fall from the sky. I think what happened there was an egg fell from the sky. That's what I don't think they can fall from the sky by themselves. I think an egg fell from the sky and that spawned them. But yeah, we got our guys flowered up. There are no purple flowers around, or purple candle pop bulbs, so we're all set. Oh, sorry, I've been spewing a constant stream of information with my talking. Oh boy. Is this... Yes, this is the boss floor. So this is the final floor. I recognize that imprint anywhere. So you can hear something that sounds threatening in the background. And we can see what looks like a large imprint of something falling down here. Apparently onto its eye stalks. You can see here this thing that is sleeping. We can go right past it if we so choose and leave. But where would be the fun in that? Now, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to set my purples aside because oddly enough, purples aren't the best for fighting this thing because if I recall, you can't actually stun it with purples. And they're slow, so there's a good chance they'll end up dying. So I'm just going to throw a red at it. That little smack, smack, smack ought to wake it up. Meet the Empress Bulblax. Now, the Empress Bulblax is actually a completely harmless enemy. If you just stand here, it won't do anything. Now, the Empress Bulblax, just to let you know, this is the mother of all Bulblaxes. It constantly will, this is basically what all... this is a queen bee of sorts. All different types of Bulborbs spawn from this thing. Now we're going to pull our Pikmin away before she swings her head like that. When she swings her head, she throws the Pikmin to the side and swings around, or goes around. When this happens, she will crush Pikmin easily, and that can slaughter a lot of Pikmin very fast. Let's call our Pikmin back before she shakes again. You also don't want to miss Pikmin because they'll go for her inner body, which is a good way to get them crushed as well. As long as you maintain this method, you should easily be able to get through. Did I just hear a Pikmin die? No, I didn't. You should easily be able to get through this without losing any. Now, I made a point of throwing a little bit later there and like holding off so that I wouldn't throw them underneath her and mess it up again. Like, probably what's recommended is that you throw one directly onto her face. I believe you can also technically throw one onto her face while she's moving. There we go, and let's spam them onto her now. And we got her! I was trying to rush so that even if she threw them, she would still die. And her blobby body explodes, leaving behind a corpse and a love tester. This is actually something that's also produced by Nintendo, believe it or not. Back in their days before video games, they did make love testers. So yeah, this is a bizarre bit of Nintendo history. Luckily, they don't include the detail that Nintendo also used to run love hotels. How bizarre. This device is emitting black light. It must have been ingested by that creature. What an absolutely repulsive life form. Our return to Hokotet cannot come soon enough. But yeah, let's go ahead and get a bunch of Pikmin onto that, and a bunch of Pikmin here. We are going to need more, though. I think we have way more than we need on the corpse. Whatever, let's just get all our Pikmin to carry this back. Starting with our reds, because our reds are fastest. Even though the purple contribute a larger number, they are still slower, so they are not your ideal option. Let's send Olimar back here to meet. Louis is going to bring these guys in. To save a little bit of time, I'm going to try to line it up so I can leave immediately when these guys are done. And there we go. This is another special item. If I recall, this is the treasure gauge? Prototype detector. Yeah, if you actually move it around, you can see that occasionally its little Geiger counter looking thing was going to move. This contraption seems to react when it approaches treasure and will connect to my radar. Processing complete. The treasure gauge is now fully operational. It will now appear on your monitor. The needle will move right as you approach treasure. This is one of the most useful things in the game, and now you can actually hear, it's in the bottom right, that sound plays, and it turns off to indicate there's no treasure left in the area. So that's a very useful little thing there. Now let's go ahead up and out. I believe we got all the treasure in this cave on our first try. I don't think we missed any. So we should be done. 6. Yes, cave complete. For a second there, I thought it hadn't popped up because I failed somehow. Okay, there we go. Cave complete, and the little flag gets added. We are done. And we managed to get 1,000 Pokos out of just that. We're already 20% of the way done with the debt. Makes us feel as short as the first game, doesn't it? But it's not. This game is actually has a ton of content and is very worth playing. The first one is like something you replay in an afternoon, maybe 2. The second game, you can play this for hours and hours and hours. 20% of debt recovered. There we go. Let's go ahead and get these 2 Pikmin plucked, and we'll be all set to get going. Now, there we go. Just trying to get as many Pikmin going as possible. You come with me. Now, if I recall, yeah, there's water over there that we can't get past, at least not yet. Let's get you guys there. One of you there, one of you there. These are growing back, but aren't fully grown yet. Oh, no, they're fully grown now. So what I'm going to do is get our Pikmin on this again. And this time I'm going to put a ton of Pikmin on it to get it done as quickly as possible. When you do this, your Pikmin will latch on if you just wait here. It's not so much a fire and forget kind of thing, but your Pikmin will finish up. 5 of them will grab on to the various ones around on the ground, and you'll be all set with that and won't have to worry about it. There we go. Now, some of them just latch right back on and start climbing again, which is less than ideal, but whatever. That's taken care of. You can hear the treasure gauge reacting up there, but we don't need it yet. And we have the jiggly juice of the spicy berries. Captain Olimar, my research on the red berries you discovered has yielded a powerful potion. Very powerful, overpowered in my opinion, but you know who's counting. Behold, the ultra spicy spray. Although it is untested, I believe it will have spectacular results. Spray it on all your Pikmin by pressing down on the D-pad. When necessary, 1 bottle of spray can be created for 10 berries. For start to the blah 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 blah. Instructions. I don't need them. Yeah, we've got spray now. We shouldn't need, and I think we have enough purples after that cave to actually get this done. Yeah, we can. Oh, even without the purples, we would have enough. And there we go. That's pressed down now. If I recall, yeah, past the hole of, the hole of beasts is something we can't deal with yet. And we actually have another cave here. Now you're going to get pulled in, and we're good. Now, let's see what this cave is. Astounding. My metal detectors are reacting violently. What could be down below? If you find trouble, yeah, press start, yeah, blah, 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 radar screen. The exploration pod will drop its... Oh yeah, you can choose to leave the cave in an emergency to save you and your Pikmin. But we will drop all treasure in order to transport us safely out. So that's an important detail. You can back out if you need to. But this area requires poison resistance, which we don't have yet. So going in right now would actually be kind of a waste. Also, I'm going to set 1 red on here, but I'm actually going to leave this corpse here for reasons I'll get to in a second. Now, let's toss a few Pikmin up this way. Oh, wait, there's a yellow gate up there. That's right. I can't deal with that right now. So, forget that. I guess the purple will help with that. That's fine. Now, we could go into that cave today, but it really won't do us any good. And I think we've done just about everything we physically can for today, unless we want to wait around for more berries to grow, which isn't exactly exciting gameplay. So, I think what we're going to do is just double-check everything and make sure I've gotten everything I can. Oh, not what I intended. Well, whatever, you guys can get on that. Yeah, there's a few candy pop buds around, but we really don't need them. And I'm taking them back just 'cause. Like, why not? By the way, if you're wondering, when purple Pikmin carry things back, I can't remember what they do. I believe they'll default to whichever Pikmin population is the lowest if they're not the majority, or if they're the majority and not something else, or and they're not working with any other types of Pikmin. Let's get that plucked so that all these new Pikmin can get flowered pretty easily. And yeah, let's go ahead and just pick these Pikmin, and we will be done for today. Second time you fight the Empress Bulborb is actually difficult. Yes, it actually is. It's a decent boss fight past that point. It's a very good tutorial boss the first time you fight it, but the second time is much more difficult. The Emperor Bulborb, on the other hand, is... I believe TV Tropes called it the Clip-Winged Angel instead of One-Winged Angel. That, like, an enemy that was so powerful at one point that it becomes an absolute joke. That's what the Emperor Bulblax is in this game. Like, it was overwhelmingly powerful in the first game, but now it's just a complete joke. Either way, let's go ahead and go to sunset. We have nothing left we can do in this day, so we're just going to end it off. We made good time today. We probably could have hung out and just kept farming up Pikmin, but I didn't really see any reason to. And besides... Wait a minute. I'm an idiot. I'm actually an idiot. I was gonna say, we can just go on to the next area tomorrow. What am I doing? I should have gone into that cave. What am I thinking? What's wrong with me? Why did I think that was a good idea? Oh my god. I've wasted time. I've wasted an entire day by doing this. All our Pikmin populations went up, but unfortunately we had our first 2 casualties in battle today. Poor things. They shall be remembered. How's progress, Olimar? Remember, you'll never get anything done if you sit back and watch from afar. Oh yeah, you can press R for a close-up view. Yeah, thank you for the tutorials, Mr. President, but we've got to get back to work. Because I messed up. I thought we would unlock a new area, but obviously that wasn't the case. That area that cave we unlocked was the White Flower Garden. Of course it has poison element. I forgot. Oh my god. What is wrong with me? It's just been so long. I actually forgot that was the White Flower Garden. Oh, I feel like such an idiot. Alright. Well, that happened. You guys, get out here. We've got work to do. I could have had white Pikmin. Or, spoilers, white Pikmin exist in this game. Spoilers for a game that's existed since 2003. I'll just put 20 of you guys out. But yeah, I could have had white Pikmin yesterday, and I just completely goofed it. I completely forgot. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and ignore those. We don't need any of these things. Yeah, we're just gonna beeline it straight for the White Flower Garden. I don't know what I was thinking. I could have easily had this, and we could have had some great progress done, but no. For some reason, I was thinking this was like Pikmin 1, where after I got enough treasures in an area, it would unlock the next. No, that's not how this works. I thought, oh, I've got all the treasures in this area, so clearly a new area will open up tomorrow. No! Alright, onward to the White Flower Garden. Luckily, this isn't a series like on YouTube where I had to worry about spacing things out. We're on a 2-hour time limit here, so if we end something off early, oh, kill them with fire, kill them with fire. Okay. And they're dead. Also, one thing I'm going to do immediately, I'm going to dismiss Louis, so he'll hang out back here and be able to regather Pikmin for me if I need him to. Okay, guys, get to work. Take out the purple ones, the males. Those ones need to die fastest. And the rest we can take out at a leisurely pace. Got our first treasure here. That's plenty to carry it, especially since I threw a purple there. No other treasures here. Doesn't look like it. So I'm going to spawn if I stand over here? No. Okay, I think there's only the one treasure, so let's go ahead and get all the Pikmin we can on it, get it back faster. And Olimar will wait here. Louis will retrieve the Pikmin. I like this system of kind of leaving Louis behind to laze around because it's fitting for him. Also, this is, I believe Kiwi is a brand of shoe polish off the top of my head. The music in Pikmin 2 slaps. I completely agree. I love the music in this game. Yep, Kiwi shoe polish. More product placement. Name, Alien Billboard. Only worth 80, but hey. And yep, that's the last treasure on this floor, so let's go ahead in. By the way, if you throw any Pikmin off the edge, they will die. I believed for some reason as a kid that if you threw them off the edge, they would appear on the next floor, so I always liked throwing one off the edge so I could find him on the next floor and I'd search for him. Eventually I realized, yeah, there's no such thing. Honestly, my favorite song in this game, well, aside from the credits from completing filling in the company debt, my favorite song in this game is actually something a bit unusual. I like the Sunset song from the Valley of Repose. It's one of my favorite things. Now here, we have a new enemy. Fiery Blowhogs. Now they shoot fire, and your red Pikmin can easily handle them, luckily. So you may think, red Pikmin are what you should fight these with under all circumstances. And that would be reasonable. No, my favorite cave is the Submerged Castle. Not my favorite song. But yeah, you may think, oh, fiery enemy, I should fight it with red Pikmin. No, that's a complete joke. Attack everything with purple Pikmin and the game is easy. I'm gonna refrain from doing this usually just because, frankly, purple Pikmin completely break this game combat-wise. Alright, either way, we've got this treasure here. A sort of heart-shaped diamond. Ooh, I wonder if I can throw a Pikmin across this gap. I kind of want to try. Yes, I can. I could, that's out of curiosity, but I don't want to throw all of them across there for risk of them actually dying. I forgot to leave Louie behind, but that's fine because this treasure is right next to spawn. So you guys should get on it immediately. And that should be all the treasures on this floor. And here we have Petrified Heart. And we have now something of equal value as a solid diamond heart, a bottle cap. Specifically for Dr. Pepper, the intellectual drink of the chosen ones. Drought Ender. Yep, that's it for this floor. You just gotta keep moving. Oh, unfortunately, that is not where the exit... Okay, the exit is this way. I went the long way around for some reason. Yeah, no, the Sunset song from the Valley of Repose is by far my favorite song in this entire game. It is just such a calming song. I actually listen to it. I have it on my phone as something I can listen to. Just so good. But there's a lot of great ones in this game. And now we're at sub-level 3. We're into the more solid parts of the cave. You can see that this area is basically like underground rusty pipes, though. We're in a much more open area, but it's still just pipes. I'm going to throw a Pikmin at this so they interact with it, which makes it so that I can have that added to my journal. Submerged Castle is spooky? Yes, it is. It is genuinely terrifying. And here we have something special, as you can imagine. White candy pop buds, for the first time in this game. How can a flower grow so deep underground, blossom so robustly? How mysterious. This place is conspicuously warm. Could it act as a kind of hothouse for foliage? What an interesting development. The Pikmin look as if they long to be tossed in the flower. Oh, as if we hadn't seen this before. Now, an interesting thing about this, when it comes to what are obviously going to be white Pikmin, it's hinted at that purple Pikmin at some point did have an onion. However, white Pikmin are adapted to live underground. So they, as far as we know, white Pikmin never had an onion. They just had a mutated form of candy pop bud that allowed white Pikmin to exist, which is fascinating. You know, wait, let's grab these little guys out. Meet my favorite type of Pikmin in this game. They are short, they have red eyes, they are creepy and adorable, they are perfect, and they are poisonous. I love how terrifying and creepy and adorable white Pikmin are. They were my favorites until the third game when flying Pikmin came about. Incredible, a white Pikmin is tiny but looks distinctly swift. Its eyes are unseemingly red. This type of Pikmin was not mentioned in your notes, Olimar. It must be an entirely new type. Our data record on this type of Pikmin is a blank page, since a certain captain never documented it. Hey, I literally never found them, and sorry I was busy trying to not die in the first game. You must experiment and make a detailed observation for the benefit of future generations. The ship can be kind of a jerk in this game, I'll be honest. Like, I like the ship, but he can be a real jerk with a lot of things he talks about. Either way, already got 15 white Pikmin. Now, white Pikmin are, as it said, faster. They are a bit smaller, and they have another special thing. As you can hear, there's a treasure nearby, but we can't see it. But they can. White Pikmin can see underground, and will start digging up things that you can't even see. Amazing. The white Pikmin have unearthed a treasure that was buried in the ground. Perhaps those beady red eyes of theirs allow them to sense objects buried in the dirt. Like I said, perfect for living in caves. That's what these guys are adapted for. And this probably won't come up for quite some time, but as I mentioned, they are in fact poisonous. Because of that, they will, what's it called? If they are eaten by any enemy, that enemy will take a significant portion of their health. Just for experimentation, I have actually killed many bosses in this game purely by just throwing white Pikmin at them and letting them get eaten. It's a completely valid tactic if a bit it makes you a completely horrible person if you do it, and I hate you. Oh, can I get that guy to respawn? Thank you. There we go. That should be plenty of nectar to get all of our new white Pikmin completely flowered, which will be awesome because leaf white Pikmin are actually about as fast as normal bud Pikmin, but flower white Pikmin are so fast. They're actually faster than you. So if you use them as your dedicated carriers, they are amazing for it. They can get things done so fast that you won't even know what to do with it. But yeah, we have Gamma Tape here. Super Stick Textile. And that's the only treasure for this floor. Let's take our Pikmin, get them flowered up, and then we'll be ready to leave. Alrighty. Alright, little guys. Gather up, gather up. About like that-ish. Alright, how many of you are left that are still flowers? Two of you are still leaves. So this should do it. Perfect. Now they'll come right back to us. Let's go over to Louie, have him gather these Pikmin, and we're good to go. And just like that, we now have white Pikmin added to our ranks. They're flowered up, and we are ready to get through some new obstacles with them. I mentioned they're poisonous. That means they are actually also immune to poison, which we'll be getting into right now. I don't know what those things are supposed to be. They always look like bizarre little, like, I don't know, tape dispensers or something like that. But poison, on the other hand, unlike fire, no Pikmin can deal with it other than whites. You can get close to it perfectly safely, but luckily white Pikmin can clear it out. I personally kind of wish there were locations flooded with poison that you couldn't get rid of, at least not easily, because taking these out just make it so that white Pikmin clear it away for other Pikmin and then just get out of the way. If I recall, white Pikmin actually aren't the best fighters, by the way. They actually deal a little bit less damage. But yeah, that's just a little detail to keep in mind. But yeah, I'd love it if there were areas in the game where you were required to bring your white Pikmin in and maybe go through it for an extended period of time. Kind of like you have to with blue Pikmin in the first game and all the games, actually. Whoa, I'm a little bit stuck there. That was weird. But yeah, I kind of wish that was a thing where you're required to use them for extended periods of time more, but whenever there's poison, it can be cleared out very quickly and easily. There nothing up there? No, there's no treasure up there. For some reason, I thought if I tossed them up there, there'd be a treasure. Guess the treasure is this way? I didn't want a purple, thank you. Now, you guys get on that, clear a path. You guys get on this, clear another path. And I'll have you guys take this first treasure back. I think you... Now, I want to show you how quickly these guys will go. This is the minimum amount to carry something, and they are significantly faster. Like, I'd say at least 50% faster than if you were to set red flowers at that. It's fantastic. Also, this poison here I'm actually not going to get rid of to show something kind of funny that you can do. Yes, we have Chapstick here. Name, Survival Ointment. Which I guess is accurate enough. I personally relied on Chapstick quite a lot when living in Colorado, but not so much anymore. Also, Louie, you can gather up all these Pikmin here and go ahead and get on this. This has to be dug out. They get it out, and yeah, start carrying it back. I believe that's the only other treasure on this floor. If I recall, this one's journal entry makes a joke about it causing you to grow exponentially in size. Toxic toadstool. Yep, that's the last treasure. We have all of our Pikmin. So to show you something funny, I intentionally left the poison on the exit. You can get rid of it, but you actually don't have to. You can walk right past, do this, and delve deeper. The ones with Louie will just come over, wade through the poison like it's nothing, and just go through. This is just further proving my point that poisoning is just a state of mind. The Pikmin just need to be reminded, hey, just don't be poisoned, and you'll be fine. That's all it takes. Come on, guys. It's simple. Also, I believe this is the boss floor. I think this is the end. Yes, it is. You may notice that this area looks almost kind of like hay around. Like the dirt looks like it's been scratched down, similar to how one would with a nest. If we move further in, you can see actual grass lining the ground a bit more. Until eventually you see a few little eggs over there, and what does genuinely look like a nest. And here we have our next boss, the Burrowing Snagret. This enemy is a regular boss in this game, and I'm going to stay backed up for a little bit because I want to play this boss fight safely. I'd like to lose no Pikmin if I can. In the first game, this enemy appeared in a group of 3 in only one area of the entire game. Now, where are you, little guy? There he is. Okay, when he's stuck like that, you can throw purple Pikmin onto him and leave him stunned for an extended period of time, enough to be able to kill him. Now, this enemy really should not be considered a boss. It's realistically not, and it's just kind of a basic enemy when it comes down to it. But yes, we have another special treasure, as most dungeons have at the end of them. Or most caves. Well done, Captain Olimar. You defeated that freakish half-bird, half-serpent hybrid. Oh, no. Don't tell me that treasure was ingested by the beast, wasn't it? Yeah, the ship likes to complain about having treasures shoved inside of it that were eaten by other creatures. Oh, oh! Yep, we got more of these mites. Luckily, we were able to catch them. Yeah, they're basically dungeons. Red liquid you see contains, yeah, this is basically 1 dose of ultra spicy essence. If you walk into it, your captain will suck it up and we'll get 1 full potion out of it. Also, yeah, we took care of those mites fairly easily. Guys, stop panicking. Thank you. Now, I'd like to show you a secret. There's actually a glitch when it comes to the ultra spicy essence that's on the ground. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to bring Louie right next to it, and I'm going to push him into it. I'm not going to be using this exploit often, but I do want to show it once. If you push him into it and then go into it yourself, you actually get 2 copies of it. It glitches it out by having you both get it at once, the same way that multiple Pikmin can drink from a single pile of nectar. It is very easily exploitable, very powerful, and I'm not going to be doing it because of that. Like, honestly, potions break this game easily, and getting more without any effort whatsoever is ridiculous. Yet this material looks comfortable. I'll use it to patch the boss's favorite sleeping bag. This is a 5-man knapsack, by the way. Scene test conclusive. Cross-stitching successful. The knapsack is now complete. When you have unoccupied time interval, please hold X to take a nap. Now, this is something that is pretty much useless. Never really comes up. But yes, I'd like to show it real quick. If we take a nap, Pikmin will actually carry you back to their onion. I'm going to take Louie this way, and this is something you... Okay, this seems useless at first. But it can actually be used to save time. If you have both captains with you and you want to send one back to your base, you do not heal from resting. You do not heal in any way in this game until the end of the day. However, if a captain goes down outside of a cave, it doesn't actually matter. If a captain goes down in a cave, you'll have to leave the cave immediately. But outside of a cave, it'll just delay you. It doesn't really matter. Now, if both captains go down, then all of your Pikmin that are with you die and the day immediately ends. So that's no good. But yeah, it allows your captain to get carried back. So like here, I was able to move over to the geyser while Olimar was getting carried, and if I switch back to him, he's already back at base. And yes, he will get woken up by getting placed in. As a secret, in the first game, you actually could do this. If you hold down on the D-pad, I forgot to show this in my playthrough, I apologize. If you hold down on the D-pad, you will fall asleep and your Pikmin will carry you. And if they carry you to their onion, the onion will actually shoot out fireworks as a little Easter egg. In this game, though, it's hidden behind an item because it's actually really useful. I was saying it's mostly useless, but it can come up, and I intend to make use of it in this playthrough. The ability to send one of your captains back to your base and let them get to plucking or gathering Pikmin to rejoin you is really nice while you continue to do something else. It probably won't come up often, but I'll still try to use it when I get the opportunity to. Now, unfortunately, we only have 15 white Pikmin, which is going to be extremely limiting with exploring things up here, because everything we need to do now relies on white Pikmin. There we go, that's all done with. So let's take our white Pikmin and get moving, just ignoring those enemies there because they're a complete non-factor. So where do I want to go first? I could open up the path that way, which is just a small area that I don't really need. What I really need is to get over there, so I'm going to set my Pikmin to that first. So I haven't been at all efficient with managing my Pikmin with this, but I'm going to grab my whites and get them on this. Okay, I'm going to get all of them on that, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave Louie here to keep an eye on them, so when I hear it done... Oi! I thought so, I heard one more. There we go. Oh my god, come on, little guy. Get to work. Okay, so yeah, Louie's gonna wait next to them, so when I hear that done, I can switch back to him and get them to work on other things. Meanwhile, Olimar's gonna stay here. Oi! Get off there! These are, I can't remember the name of them, the caterpillars. They will spawn nearby wherever there's berries, and they'll start eating the berries remorselessly. Unfortunately, you just knock them off when you get up there, and you don't actually kill them. So we failed to get them this time. We'll catch them next time. Still, we may as well get some of these carried back. Yeah. But unfortunately, not a whole lot we can do about that. Go ahead and get you to work there. Oh, we got another potion, which I still haven't actually shown off what those do, but it hardly matters. Get you guys there. Okay. I'm gonna get a few more Pikmin sprouted. When there's 100 Pikmin in the field, Pikmin will continue to get put inside the onions. So this actually saves you the trouble of plucking them, which is kind of convenient. So I recommend doing that at every opportunity you get. Actually, I probably don't want my purple Pikmin working on that if I can avoid it. Oh, you know, there was something else I could have had white Pikmin doing, but, oh well, that hardly matters right now. Because as you can hear, there's actually a treasure up there, and it's buried. You need white Pikmin to get at it. But we can't really do a whole lot about that now. Need you back from there, get you there. And there we go. That one Pikmin can stay. I'm going to go ahead and... let's check with Louie, see how this is going. Okay, it's almost done. And we have a treasure over there that I definitely want to get today if I can. So actually, I'm going to have Olimar go ahead and join. Oh, they're done. So yeah, that's done with, and they immediately start breaking these things of poison. So now anyone can go through here. Ooh, but there is a creeping chrysanthemum on the other side, which I am going to work on. This time I intend to get through it perfectly safely, and I'll even show you a trick to killing it with relative ease. So, of course you can just use the method of stunning it a lot with purple Pikmin. If you call your Pikmin back, bait them in. If he misses, he will slap himself with his mouth and stun himself, making it a lot easier to get off a lot of hits. Oh! Whoa, we got knocked into that, but that is bad timing. Yes, there's the map to the next area. Fascinating. This object is highly similar to the one you found in the Valley of Repose. Yes, I don't have time for that. I have a creeping chrysanthemum in my face. By examining this further, I might be able to extrapolate new planetary data. That's fascinating. I have a creeping chrysanthemum in my face. I need to kill it. Oh, luckily it died during the cutscene. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. You guys just get to work at building this bridge. I want that done as soon as possible, and luckily it won't take long. You white Pikmin, I'm going to need you to go here this way with Louie and get to work over here. Oh, I'm so glad I have two captains again. I missed it in the first game. Being able to split your attention like this in order to get as much done in a day as possible is what Pikmin is to me. Like this, splitting the attention and getting things done. I love it. Either way, now this one actually takes even more Pikmin than the last one. So we're actually going to put all of our... Oh no, it takes the same amount. I thought it took like 200 for some reason off the top of my head. Either way, those guys should get back before the end of the day. I shouldn't need any more purples at all anyway. Let's get a few more reds on it to get it going a little bit faster. That ought to help. And let's explore this other direction while my Pikmin are hard at work carrying that back. So going this way, I don't see anything particular. We can see we can't really get anything done here. We'd have to get through water. We have a new enemy here called the Yellow Wollywog, but we can't do anything about them. We can't get through the water, and the bridge on the other side requires even more poison, so we're going to have to work on that later, when it's open to us. For now, though, got everything we can here. Do I hear those caterpillars biting up my berries again? The berries this way? Yes, they are. I think I hear them. I do. Okay, this time I'm going to throw just a couple Pikmin up there to scare him off, and this time I'm going to murder him. There we go. Get a bunch of Pikmin on him, and you actually don't kill him by doing this. You stun him. An important difference. As you can see, it's still alive as it's being dragged back to the onion, where it will be ground up for nutrients alive. The poor, poor bastard. But that's what you get for touching my stuff. May as well gather these berries. I don't really see any reason not to. Alright, more and more Pikmin being added. The only thing we're waiting on now is for, what's it called? For Louie's white Pikmin to be done with their task, which they should be done with soon. That'll open up even more to us. Come on, guys. I need you to get this done quickly, quickly. Once those white Pikmin are done, I'm going to send Louie to get this treasure that's nearby base, but underground, and that should be the last thing we need white Pikmin for today. Alrighty, so I think that's about it. There's not really anything else I can do. Alright, let's just go ahead and wait here for this to get done then. Is there a limit to potions? I believe it's 99 of each type. I've never reached that limit though. Oh, never mind. I thought I saw something. I've never reached that limit, so I can't say absolutely for certain, but I believe that is it. Also, let's make sure there's no random Pikmin scattered about on the field. None. You see, in the first game, there would always be random Pikmin scattered about, and it'd be so hard to avoid that happening. I'm so glad that isn't a thing in this game. Like, it'll still happen from time to time if they get stuck, but that's rare. The geographic projection. Like, Pikmin AI is infinitely better in this game compared to the first game. Still flawed, but better. This hemisphere also contains a hidden microchip. I'll attempt to decrypt the stored data. Decoding complete. As I surmise, this chip contains additional topographical data. The data has been inputted to my database. I shall name it the survey chart. Alright. And with that, we have 30% of the debt recovered. Not bad for our first stream. Still a long way to go. Like, even with 30% of the debt recovered, that's far from all that's going on. Anyway, let's go ahead through here, past those white Pikmin now that the poison's gone. And Louie, you're actually going to go back separate with these whites and go ahead and take care of that treasure, because I only really want white Pikmin for that. I don't need anything else. And then you're going to gather up everything, all our other Pikmin other than white Pikmin, in order to work on the next area. This little bugger's getting to work here. No, I don't have time for this. I can't be bothered. I'm just going to let him chew up a few berries. It's not that big of a deal. I really try not to use potions unless I really need them, or if it's like a really big fight where I think it's gonna be challenging. Oh, new enemy! This is the iridescent flint beetle. What you have to do with this, you want purple Pikmin for this if you can, but I don't have any. You have to land directly on top of them. If you don't, you cannot damage them. You can't actually kill them, but they're basically little goody bugs that you want to hit as many times as you can because you get nectar, you get pellets, and you might even get potions. Oh, there we go. We managed to get a potion out of that. And I'm not going to abuse the bug. I'm only going to get one out of that and call it good. Still, that was well worth it. We already have 6 potions and it's only day 4. Alright, let's get you guys up here. I don't need the nectar from you. What I need is to get as many Pikmin as I can working here. And now I need you guys to join back up with me. Oh, a couple of my purples lost their flowers. Oh, they must have been fighting the, what's it called? The creeping chrysanthemum that I fought earlier. Also, what I might do... Yeah, I'm going to go around with this. I'm just going to toss 1 purple up there because I don't think 15 whites is quite enough. Never mind. They did it and they are cruising away with it. Look at them go. Oh, Madbat, glad to have you here. I don't believe you've been here before, so thank you. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. Oh, and yep, that's our next treasure. It is an actual onion, so that's fun. Yeah, glad to have you here, Madbat. What brings you here? Pikmin 3 Deluxe, yes! I am so excited. I started playing the first game, literally talked on the first stream how I really wish they'd have a Switch port of Pikmin 3. I actually said I wanted the full trilogy of games ported to the Switch, but hey, I'll take what I can get. And oh my god, it looks so good! Oh, I just can't wait. Anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and keep moving. Let's rejoin up with Olimar now that that's done. Got all the Pikmin with us we could need. We might be able to get in one more cave today if we tried. But I don't think we're going to quite get to it. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to go up here. We're going to toss a bunch, in fact, all of our Pikmin up there. So this is one of our first puzzles of the game. I'm going to throw... Oh, right, the purples don't quite want to land up there correctly because they go at a bit of a different angle from all other Pikmin. So what we do for this, as you can see, this thing measures our Pikmin. Olimar is going to stay behind with this purple here, making sure he doesn't get left behind at the end of the day. And we're going to gather up all our Pikmin. Now you can see that submerged wall there would be nice for getting this done, but we unfortunately can't. Let's go ahead and get on this, though, get all our Pikmin here, because this is a different type of berry we haven't worked with yet. Is there a treasure near here? No, it's in a different direction. Oh, no, there is a treasure right here. I forgot about it. So let's go ahead and get our Pikmin on that and get that back to base before the day is done. Yep, we got our first purple berry there. Those Pikmin will be safely back at base. And yes, astonishing. This purple berry contains ultra bitter essence. This one is arguably more overpowered than the ultra spicy essence. It does not appear to have any monetary value, but I shall research potential uses for it. Bring me another specimen. Excuse me. Alright, that's done. Got that. And we are ready to go. So, as you can see, there's an electric wall in the way up there. Can't do anything about that, but there is another cave. So yeah, we couldn't have gotten to another cave today. But, I'm half tempted to wait here until more berries spawn, because I really would like to get that first ultra bitter spray today. But I don't think I'm going to be able to pull it off. Once I do have this done with, though, we've gotten everything available to us in this area that we physically can right now. You know, without abusing any sort of, like, exploits or bugs. I'm not sure. I don't know about exploits or bugs in this game. Chance Totem, by the way. Much like the Chance Cube in Phantom Menace, but we don't talk about that. So, yeah. This is... do I want to wait for more berries? It's pretty close. You have Pikmin 2 for the Wii? Yeah. I honestly argue the Wii ports of this game are objectively better. Pointer controls are a perfect match for Pikmin, and I absolutely love them. Yeah, Pikmin 2 for the PC. Shh, we don't talk about that. But yeah, emulators are fine, honestly. I technically they're illegal, but I don't talk about that. But it doesn't really bug me. You play what you like. You do your thing. Olimar, Louis, the sun will be setting soon. Called all the Pikmin to you. The planet's native nocturnal life forms are ferocious and therefore dangerous. Load your Pikmin into the onion and yourself into my hull so we can take refuge in low orbit. Pikmin in your squad will enter the onion at their own at day's end, so call them all to you. But once they're at the base, under their onions or near your ship, will be perfectly safe, or just in the general vicinity will be safe. By the way, the music changes at sunset, which is a detail I love about these games. I believe all of our Pikmin are accounted for, so we're perfectly fine. All 35 of those Pikmin that are not with us are at base. Well, 30 of them. 5 of them are over there, but we can't get to them yet. Oh god, I am sweating buckets in here without the fan on and with the door closed. I'm going to have to end this stream after this day is over. I'll wait for it to count down just because I'd really like to get a little bit more of that ultra bitter goodness. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Okay. Ooh, 10 seconds. Come on, people. We need to hurry. Ooh, let's get white Pikmin on it if we can. There we go. Okay, got all of them here. The only ones unaccounted for are those 5 plus the one that's with Olimar. So I think we're good. Zero. Did it get it? Yes, I got it just in time. Just at the last possible second. Like, literally, it was like 2 frames from ending the day. Fantastic, we made it. Captain Olimar, I have completed my research on the purple berries you discovered. Behold, the ultra bitter spray. It's untested, but I believe it will be highly effective. Yep, approach enemies and press up to spray them. Oh, I managed to actually pull it off. 1 bottle is 10 berries. Yes, we know that. Press start, blah, 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 blah. We know about berries. And now, bam, done. And this time, Louis is the one taking all the Pikmin inside. Yeah, as you can see, the whites go in with the purples as well, stored within the ship, and we are safe for takeoff. And tonight, Louis is piloting, which means we're probably not going to crash. Alright, did we leave any behind? I'm pretty sure I had them all accounted for. Nope, no Pikmin left behind and no predators to come pick them up. Fantastic. I've streamed for a long time. Oh, I used to do 5-hour streams back in the day. It was great. I played through the entire Danganronpa series. Fantastic games, by the way. I'm going to be doing the bonus modes on those still at some point. But yeah, I would do like 5-hour-long streams whenever it came to the class trials and that. Because those were very long and, oh, they were so fun. I miss those games. But yeah, we're aiming for around 2 hours now, but end up being about 2.5 hours today because, well, caves tend to mess with the timing of things. Either way, purples didn't go down, whites went up, and reds went up as well. Overall, a good day, and 0 Pikmin lost. Alright, Olimar, good work so far. I hereby promote you to experimental manager. Yeah, this is press X to divide up your work, press Y to delegate more to your subordinate leader. Yep. Yeah, instructions, basically. We're getting tutorials shoved in our face 24/7 in this game. And now this music. And we unlock the next area of the game. The last one we'll have unlocked for quite some time. Oh, but today was a good stream. We got a lot done. We managed to get through the first 2 areas mostly. We have new enemies to be able to show off in the Piccolopedia at the end of the day. We have our first couple of boss enemies. Oh, it's beautiful. But yes, that's going to be it for this stream, guys. Well, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I know I did. So, thank you much. See you guys next time for more Pikmin 2. Tomorrow, around 2 p.m. Western Standard, or Pacific Standard Time? Yeah, that's the time zone. Yeah, Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. I'll be here tomorrow, streaming again, playing more Pikmin 2. See you then. Bye-bye. Oh, Wait, one last thing before I go. Madbat, you just followed a minute ago. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Glad to have you a part of our community. Can't wait to see you around more. Now then, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.